Navadi Pashatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabandha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Sunday Bhakti Vaibhav class. So last few weeks we have been discussing about Prthu Maharaj. So we discussed some of the important episodes of Prthu Maharaj, milking Mother Earth in the form of cow and providing food for everyone, performing 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices. During the 100th one, Indra becoming insecure and so many things happened. Prthu had stopped the 100th yajna, being requested by Brahma. The Lord is pleased by that, surrender, came along with Indra, accepted the prayers offered by Prthu and blessed him, instructed him to rule properly. So then, following the instructions of Supreme Lord, now Prthu Maharaj is ruling. Same way, Prthu Maharaj is requesting the citizens to cooperate him in his rule. He very nicely presented himself that I never wanted to become the king. The Supreme Lord gave me the responsibility of taking care of you. It is by taking care of all of you, I will obtain the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. By providing you by means of livelihood, by providing you food, by controlling, by punishing the miscreants, by holding danda, etc., etc., I will please the Supreme Lord. And somebody may say, who is Supreme Lord? You are doing your duty, you are getting results. Why you are bringing the concept of Supreme Lord? Then he says, okay. Even majority may not accept Supreme Lord, but there are some people who accept there is someone called a Supreme Lord by whom the distinction, the results is seen. Even though different people do same activities, the results are different because the results are given by personal Supreme Lord, not the insentient dry karma. And this is established, the existence of Supreme Lord is established by great souls. All the list of great souls he has spoken in the previous verses. So basically, very slowly, organically, he tries to establish Supreme Lord. He tries to establish Bhakti for the Supreme Lord. But in the very beginning, he says that, all the assembled Devatas, all the assembled Brahmanas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas, I would like to ascertain what I have understood. It is as per Shastra by all of you. Because when a king instructs and the people follow, if the instructions and following things are approved by the great sages, three of them will get equal and greater benefit. Equal benefit, but of greater value. So therefore, I request all the assembled Devatas, Rishis, Brahmanas, Brahmarshis, etc. Please approve what I have in my mind, that what I want to tell to all the citizens. One of the important thing is that when all the citizens practice Bhakti, 1/6 of that Bhakti will come to king. So he says, I myself is not a devotee at all. If all of you practice Bhakti, 1/6 of that will come to me. As a result of that, there is a hope that I will attain perfection. Otherwise, if I simply leave it access and does not help people to practice Bhakti, I simply incur the sin of, I will simply experience the sins of all people. The sins incurred by all people, the king will held responsible to accept the sinful reactions. So therefore, it is my humble request to all of you to practice Bhakti. So like that, he was slowly, very nicely, very gently, very amicably submitting and inspiring people to practice Bhakti, if not for their own sake, at least for the sake of the king, because they love the king and the king loves them. So like that, at least for my sake, please practice Bhakti, if not for your sake. Like that is inspiring the people to practice Bhakti. Today we will see further instructions spoken by Prthu, and he establishes how Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are superior, they are all worthy of respect, etc., etc. That will be the further part of the discussion. So here, having established that many great devotees of the past have established that Bhagavan exists, and Bhakti for him is the topmost sadhana. What has been explained is now gradually described in detail. Whatever has been mentioned in the previous set of verses, starting from 21 to 30, will be explained now from 31 onwards. The success achieved by those performing pure bhakti to the Lord is not achieved by those practicing austerities. What to speak of persons practicing karma. So the results obtained by bhakti are not obtained by jnana or ashtanga yoga. Then what to speak of karma. This is explained in next two verses. Next two verses talks about the wonderful results that one obtains by the practice of bhakti. The super excellent nature of bhakti is explained in the 31 and 32 verses. Yat pada seva biruchistapasvinam.
Yat pada seva biruchistapasvinam.
Anopachitam malam diya.
Ashesha janmopachitam malam diyaha.
Satyakshinotan vahametadisati.
Satya Kshinotyannvaham edeti chadi.
Yata padangushta vinishruta sati sarit.
Yatha padangushta vinihristasarit. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water, which eliminates from the toes of the lotus feet of such a process immediately cleanse the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases.
So why bhakti is super excellent? Some of the important characteristics of bhakti are shown now. Like the water flowing from the big toe of the Supreme Lord, a taste of service to the Lord's feet immediately destroys the contamination in the intelligence of the performers of austerity, which has been acquired through unlimited births. Day by day, that spiritual taste increases. Just like Ganga purifies one externally, similarly, the devotional service unto Lord's lotus feet purifies one internally. So the contamination in the intelligence, which is internally situated, that will be completely purified. Ganga purifies us externally, Bhakti purifies us internally. Those doing austerities cannot remove the contamination in their intelligence. The karma, tapasya, vairagya, to some extent they may remove, but not completely. But Bhakti removes completely. That is understanding. Immediately when there arises taste for serving the lotus feet of Lord by the mercy of great devotees, purification takes place. That taste increases day by day. That taste is Shuddhasattva and eternal. The greatness of the Lord's feet. So, like that. So, by the performance of karma, jnana, yoga, tapasya, vairagya, the contamination is removed, but slowly, slowly, slowly. But when a pure bhakti is received by the mercy of a great devotee of Supreme Lord, that actually removes the contamination quickly. This is the special characteristic of bhakti, instant purification. So, this, I mean, not that. So, yesterday also we were discussing that why devotees, all of us are practicing sadhana for so long, but still there are a lot of contaminations in the heart. Why? Yes, bhakti had that power to remove it quickly. Just to keep it secret, its nature, and also not to nullify the process of karma, jnana, yoga. Bhakti shows its own results slowly, slowly, slowly in due course of time. So in that way, people consider bhakti is also very slow process, no need to follow, something like that. So that these are like some points are mentioned in the sixth canto also. So like that. But bhakti has a potency; it can do it immediately also. Further, he continues. Vinirduta shesha manomalapuman.
Vineduta shesha mano mala puman.
Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan.
Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan.
Yadangri Mule Kritaketana Punar.
Yadangrimule Krutaketana Punar.
Na samsmritim kleshavaham prapadyate.
Na samsmritim kleshavaham prapadyate. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding of mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only one is straightened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries.
One who takes shelter of the Lord's feet with mind cleansed of unlimited dirt, and who is strong in detachment from enjoyment and realization of beauty of the Lord's form, does not surrender again to material life full of suffering. So basically, one who has received the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord and one of his pure devotee, such a person whose heart is completely purified will never look back to the material world. So the source of suffering. So like that. He is strong in attachment. Such a devotee who has received the mercy of a pure devotee, strong in attachment and realization of the Lord's beauty. He takes shelter of Lord's feet. This shows his pure bhakti. So that means, of course, bhakti has power, but bhakti powers become evident when one completely surrenders to Supreme Lord. Till then, bhakti will be able to show only partially its effect. Like that. Since we have drowned in household karma yoga, how can we worship with pure bhakti? Some of the people are questioning. We are busy with our household duties. How can we practice pure bhakti? King Prthu then advises do karma mishra bhakti. If you can't afford to do unalloyed devotional service, ananya bhakti, ekanta bhakti, completely with complete surrender to Supreme Lord, if you think that if you are filled with a lot of responsibilities in this world in relation to family, friends, relatives, society, etc., etc., then do karma mishra bhakti. Do bhakti along with your varnashrama duties. That is called karma mishra bhakti. So that he explains in the next two verses. Very nice description, because these two verses will help us how to cultivate our day-to-day life activities. So we are qualified for karma mishra bhakti. So these two verses will help us how we should do bhakti as well as our daily routine activities. तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिर्
तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तभिर्
मनोवच कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः
मनोवच कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः
अमायिना कामदुगाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजम्
कायिना कामदुगाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजम्
यताधिकारावसितार्थसिद्ध्यते सिद्धया
यताधिकारावसितार्थसिद्धया. Translation. Prthu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and occupation in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. Hare Krishna.
So this verse and next verse will talk about karma mishra bhakti. Of course, this is for devotees who also have the worldly responsibilities. Prthu Maharaj is saying that you who are sincere and who have determined the goal to be achieved according to your varna and ashrama should worship that Lord whose lotus feet fulfill all desires by means of your occupational duties, your livelihood and devotional activities involved in the mind, voice, and body. That means perform bhakti with your mind, voice, and body along with your duties for your livelihood. So Varnashrama duties are meant to provide us the means of livelihood, and with one's mind, body, and voice, one should be parallelly practicing pure unalloyed bhakti simultaneously, so that both will be taken care. The material sustenance and spiritual growth both will be taken care. That is called Karma Mishra Bhakti. Worship the Lord by the actions of the Varnas, such as sacrifice, protection, agriculture, and service. So, what are our Varna duties? So, Yajna, because one of the household duty is especially for the Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas who are Dvija initiated, who are twice born people. Yajna is a must activity. They should be performing Yajna regularly. And then protection, offering protection to their subordinate people. Kshatriyas, how to protect the entire kingdom. Vaishyas, how to protect the cows and agriculture, etc., etc. So all these things are there. The Brahmanas becoming gurus, they have to protect the entire society. So that is their service toward the society that they have to do. So in that way. So we can say Brahmanas are supposed to engage in performing sacrifice, Kshatriyas engage into protection, Vaishyas are engaged in agriculture, and Shudras are engaged in service. So by these four activities, the four Varnas are able to worship the Lord by their Varna duties. So in that way. Along with these occupations, worship with the qualities of the mind, voice, and body. That how? So these are the Varna duties. Worship the Lord with these Varna duties. Also, worship the Lord directly doing bhakti activities with one's mind, body, and voice. How? With mind, remember the Lord. With voice, chant the glories of the Supreme Lord, chant the holy names of the Lord. With body, offer obeisances, clean the temple, bathe the Lord, and decorate the Lord, etc. All these things. Cook for the Lord, etc. etc. So with body, with voice, and with mind. So one should do whatever bhakti one does. So all bhakti activities such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam, all these things one should do with one's mind, voice, and body. So for livelihood, the four varnas should follow one of these four activities. And for bhakti, one should engage one's mind, voice, and body to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and Archanam. So like that. Or worship with actions of mind, voice, and body, and with your occupational duties of livelihood. If one's work is engaged for the Lord's service, or at least some portion is engaged on a study basis, then that work becomes bhakti. So we may say that. So we are working, whatever salary we are getting, we are using it for our bodily maintenance. So that is like technically karma. But same way, whatever work we are doing, whatever fruits of that work that are engaged in bhakti, direct to bhakti, they are called as bhakti only. Like that is being mentioned. Those who have determined the object of perfection, avasthitartha siddhya, without surpassing the varna, should worship him in this way. Those who have understood that the purpose of life is to come back to Godhead. So for that, one should practice Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, etc. But currently we are at home, we have home responsibilities and all. So such a person, while cultivating the desire to come back to Godhead, and for that while practicing bhakti, simultaneously should practice varna duties as a social, moral, ethical, responsible person in this world in order to take care of oneself and one's dependents. And when the varna duties are offered to Supreme Lord, even the varna duties can be called as bhakti activities. Yat karoshi, yadashnashi, yajjoshi, tadashyat, yat tapashasi kaunteya, tat kurushva, madarpanam. When all the activities are performed as an offering to Supreme Lord, all the activities also can be considered the activity. Like that, we can purify all the activities. Like that. That is what is indicated here. Or those who, by doing their prescribed occupation for the pleasure of the Lord, makes it perfect should worship the Lord in this way. That means perform all one's Varna duties as an offering to Supreme Lord exclusively for the pleasure of the Lord, not for our pleasure, not for enjoying the fruits of the activity. Perform our respective Varna duties only, but for the pleasure of the Lord, then all the activities becomes Bhakti. This is the way one should perform one's Varnashrama duties for a person who still have lot of worldly responsibilities. That is what is indicated. By taking the meaning to be worship the Lord along with prescribed duties of Varna, Ashrama, with which are one's livelihood, Bhakti becomes predominant. Even though for one's livelihood one may perform Varna duties, Ashrama duties, but one's predominance is, one's surrender is in performing Bhakti, executing Bhakti and going back home back to Godhead. So such a person is called actually Bhakta, even though there is Karma Mishra Bhakti is there, but is actually technically called as Bhakta only, because when one offers all one's karmas to Supreme Lord, the karmas are no more karmas, they become Bhakti activities. So like that. Karma nirharam uddishya parasmin vata darpanam yajed yastvayam yativa prutak bhava sashashvatika satvika. This is a verse which Lord Kapila speaks how a person in the mode of goodness should practice Bhakti. So here Prthu Concludes is also telling same thing. Karma Mishra Bhakti means Bhakti in the mode of goodness. He says, performer of Bhakti in Sattva-guna is of three categories. First one, he who worships me with a desire to destroy karma, making his work. Simple example. Yagnashishta shinashanto muchyante sarva kilvishai. Punjatete agam papa ye pachanti atmakaranat. In order to purify ourselves from the reactions of karma, when we perform karma, either offer karma or offer the result of karma to Supreme Lord, then we are free from the karmic reactions. Like Yagnashishta Shanto, while preparing, one should prepare as if I am preparing for the Lord, then offer it to Lord's pleasure as Bhoga, then accept Mahaprasad. That Mahaprasad does not occur any karmic reactions to one. So one is purification of the karma, karma nirhar muddisha. Second one is executing the worship and varna actions as a duty. Because one has been trained in the varna duty since childhood, in order to establish a right conduct and right example in the society, even while practicing bhakti, one should perform one's varna duties just to set an example. Because one has been trained in that, not with an intention to enjoy the fruits, but since one has trained, one has to give back. So, like that. And finally, having a desire for liberation. So, that the mentality of Sattvic Bhakta is, finally, let me go back home back to Godhead. That is the Sattvic result. Such kind of Bhakti is Sattvic Bhakti. Yeah, you are able to follow, Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji, following.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one question is there. Haribol. Prabhuji, you have told that while doing bhakti, we should perform our varnashram dharma also. But varnashram dharma is a material thing, and what is bhakti is a spiritual thing. So when we are doing anything material, तो definitely वो उसमें थोड़ा contamination तो भक्ति में आ ही जाता है. So how to avoid that thing?
That is what is mentioned here. Karma nirhara muddishya parasmin va tadarpanam. Perform all activities after offering to Supreme Lord. When we perform material activities for our own sake, for our own pleasure, there is a chance that we may do some mistake, we may tend to bypass the actual rules and regulations, and we may, with a desire to get the results quickly, we may do some gafla and all. But when it is offered to Supreme Lord, when it is performed for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, one does it with utmost attention, with utmost care, so that the chance of mistakes is very less. Even if some mistakes are there, Lord will remove it. Yajnartat karmano, anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. All our karma should be performed as an offering to Lord Yajna. Otherwise, every karma will bind us. Yes, there will be some mistakes, but still one need to perform. That's what Lord Krishna says in 18th chapter. Dumena avrute vahinir. Just like everything is contaminated in the material world, so we cannot say, oh, these things are contaminated, I don't want to do. Not like that. Since we have been born in that particular family, particular varna, we have been trained, we need to do our duties in spite of having contaminations, in spite of having some limitations, in spite of having some hardships, because that will purify us.
नहीं, लेकिन प्रभु जी पहले आपने कहा था कि जब तक हम ब्रह्मपुत्र स्टेज पे नहीं आते हैं, तब तक हम भक्ति नहीं कर सकते, तब तक हम जो भी कर रहे हैं वो क्रिया ही है। हाँ, बट जब वर्णाश्रम करते करते हम भक्ति का सोचते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली जब मटेरियल थिंक करते तो आसक्ति उससे होगी होगी। And Maya is
No,
so
but
powerful.
we cannot bypass also na varnashrama. As of now, we have duties. We have to maintain ourselves. We cannot be on that high platform artificially. So we need to do our duties. So here he is showing a better way of performing our varnashram duties, so that one will not be entangled in this material world as a result of performing the duties.
Okay, यानी हम हमारे नियत कर्म कर रहे हैं भगवान का स्मरण करते करते, तो it will work as a bhakti only.
Yes. Even though there may be lot of mistakes and lot of contamination, still one should do one's own sadharma nidanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. Still one should be doing that. So by doing that, eventually one gets one overnight we cannot be pure. It takes time. There are so many limitations and contamination. But ultimately we have to understand, we cannot be on the platform of like Srivas Tagore and all without having to do any karmic activities. We can maintain ourselves. No, that is not the possible. As of now, it is not possible. So we need to do our duties as an offering to Supreme Lord, by which we can make our karmas as bhakti.
तो ये तो फिर कर्म भक्ति नहीं हुआ ना, ये तो कर्म कांडी हुआ ना प्रभु जी फिर।
See, why again you people are not able to appreciate here what I'm saying, what we are discussing here, karma mishra bhakti. Our purpose of practicing everything is to go back home, back to Godhead. But for our current survival, we need to practice karma. Karma means any duty that is corresponding to our bodily maintenance.
Yes. Now I understand.
Can you practice bhakti without eating and sleeping and having a place to stay?
No.
Then that they are all called karmas. Having a home, having a means of livelihood, daily eating, they are all part of karma only. All these are required to maintain the body. Why people are working? Roti kapda makan ke liye na? That is nothing but karma. But perform those karmic duties as an offering to Supreme Lord, then they become bhakti. Can we live like Goswamis, living underneath the trees? Today this tree, that tomorrow that tree. If somebody gives something, we'll eat, and if somebody no one gives anything, we'll fast. Like that lifestyle we can follow?
No.
So that is called Kevala Bhakti. Kevala Bhakti means ab Kevala Bhakti kar rahe. Shravanam, Kirtana, Smaranam, nothing else. And if somebody gives some bhiksha, have it. Otherwise, no, fast it. वो हम नहीं कर सकते, because we have a lot of duties, we have a lot of responsibility. We have taken the responsibilities. So then Lord says, follow karma mishra bhakti. How to do our duties? Do the duties as an offering to Supreme Lord. That will purify our duties, and all the duties become bhakti.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Now clear.
Don't put them as karmakanda. Karmakanda means one does not have bhakti in it. Of course, there is a bhakti little bit, but that bhakti is also an instrument to accomplish its karma kanda. That is called sakama karma. Yes. One uses bhakti to accomplish one's karma, that becomes sakama karma. But one performs one's karmas as an offering to Supreme Lord, that is called karma mishra bhakti, and those karmas will become bhakti eventually.
Now ekdam clear, Prabhu. Thank you.
Correct. We have to see you have to understand this terminology. We have been discussing from Bhakti Shastri onwards. Karma mishra bhakti means bhakti is like the glass of milk, and karma is 1 spoon of sugar which you add. Matlab, the majority portion one is performing bhakti only. The minority portion will be performing karmic activities to maintain one's body and soul together. So such a devotee who is a karma mishra bhakta does not have any worldly ambitions to acquire a lot of wealth, name, fame, etc. No. He performs the basic varnashrama duties just to maintain the body and soul together, so that one can get more and more time to practice bhakti. That's how we have to understand.
Now I understood. Thank you.
So whatever karmas one is performing, he performs all those karmas also and offering to Supreme Lord. Like et karoshi yadashnashi yajjosh tadashyat yat tapashis kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So how to become freed from it? For example, food. Offer it to Lord and eat Mahaprasadam only. So that preparing food is a karma. But when it is off, the result is offered to the Lord, it becomes prasad, karma free. Same way, every activity, that whatever office work we do, it is a karma. When we do office work, is a karma. But when you use that salary for the devotional activities, then that becomes bhakti. That becomes Mahaprasad. That will not bind one. But if that result of the karma, salary is used for one's own enjoyment, physical, mental, etc., then that becomes karma, that remains karma, and that entangles one in karmic reactions. So like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Guruji.
Anyone else? So, Ananda Bhakti is like complete surrender. A person who is completely surrendered, Lord will take the
Guruji, आपका आवाज बहुत कम आ रहा है.
So I am saying the first two verses spoke about Ananda Bhakti, pure bhakti. So such a person is only practicing bhakti, nothing else. For such a person, by Lord's mercy or by a pure devotee's mercy, there is the purification of intelligence very quickly. Such a person shows the characteristics of complete surrender immediately. So such kind of people are very rare. The citizen said, no, my dear king, but we have a lot of duties to perform. We have our home, family, friends and relatives. We have to maintain them. We have to take care of them. We need to perform our duties. We cannot be 24/7 like exclusive devotees. What to do? Then he says, my dear citizens, all of you practice karma mishra bhakti. So bhakti is your life's ambition. But in order to maintain your body and soul together, perform karmas as an offering to Supreme Lord. Such karmas never remain karmas, but they become bhakti activities only. So like that. So now, for those still who cannot do that, for them he says, at least practice bhakti mishra karma. Karma by its very nature is impure, like some of you are saying. It is material and rajasic. But if it is offered to the Lord, it ultimately becomes Vishuddha Sattva, spiritual, by the minor portion of bhakti within it. So even though karma by itself is impure, contaminating, and binding, but when the same karma is offered to Supreme Lord, even with complete surrender or even with partial surrender also okay. Any karma that is surrendered to the Lord, that is offered to the Lord, becomes Vishuddha karma. It becomes Vishuddha Sattva, pure activity. Spiritual by the bhakti within it. In 2 verses, King Prthu teaches Bhakti Mishra Karma. Next in 2 verses, he talks about how to practice Nishkama Karma Yoga. Bhakti Mishra Karma means Nishkama Karma Yoga. The previous verse we talked about Karma Mishra Bhakti. Karma Mishra Bhakti means Bhakti mixed with Varnashrama duties. Here, Varnashrama duties mixed with Bhakti. Here, Bhakti becomes the teaspoon sugar and Varnashrama duties become the glass of milk. That means more part of time one performs Varnashrama duties, but there is some Bhakti and one offer the results to Supreme Lord. That is, when we offer the results to Supreme Lord, all the karmas become Vishuddha Sattva. So that is what is indicated here in the next 2 verses. So there may be minority people are pure devotees. Little more than that could be Karma Mishra Bhaktas, but the majority will be Bhakti Mishra Karmis. So in our society, we see majority of people in this category, Bhakti Mishra Karma. They say work is worship. We need to do our duties, family duties. We need to follow our ancestors. We need to do our duties. Work is worship, like that they say. But still, they have little bhakti in their mind, in their heart. So with that bhakti, they make their activities to the sattva. Slowly. That is being indicated. असाविहानेक गुणो गुणोद्वरा
असाविहानेक गुणो गुणोद्वरा
पृथक् विध द्रव्य गुण क्रिया क्रियोक्तिभिः
पृथग् विधा द्रव्य गुण क्रिया युक्तिभिः सम्पद्यते रथास्या लिङ्गानां विभिः
विशुद्ध विज्ञान गण स्वरूपतः
विशुद्ध विज्ञान गहन स्वरूपतः. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world. But although he is concentrated spirit soul without material variety, for the benefit of the conditioned soul, he nevertheless accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals and mantras, and offered to the demigods under different names according to the interest and purpose of the performers.
Here, Lord describes Bhakti Mishra Karma. This sacrifice. So they are performing a sacrifice. Sacrifice is one of the important duty of Varnashrama duties. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they are supposed to perform sacrifice regularly. Because when they go to Gurukula after Upanayana ceremony, the Guru teaches them how to perform sacrifice on their own. So after Upanayana ceremony, when one completes Gurukula education, when one comes home, gets married, every Brahmana and every Kshatriya and every Vaishya, whoever is twice born, they should perform yajna every day without fail. But yajna should be performed. Even a small yajna also fine. But yajna should be performed every day without fail. That is the daily part of service in the Karma Yoga. Just like for a devotee, daily service is to chant 16 rounds japa. Just like all of us have taken a vow that we will chant 16 rounds every day. Like that, for Karma Yogis, for those who are practicing Bhakti Mishra Karma, those who are twice born, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, those who have undergone Upanayana Samskara, then gone to Gurukula, studied all the Vedic literatures and other things. When they came back, got married, and then along with their wife, every day without fail, they should perform yajna. At least in the past, they would perform every day. So nowadays, they may perform once in a week or once in a parva, but it should be performed. That is their sadhana. Performing yajna on a regular basis is their sadhana for the Karma Yogis. So now, king, being the king, is performing yajna. In that yajna assembly only, the discussion is happening. Showing his index finger at the yajna, Prthu Maharaj is saying that this sacrifice has many material qualities, such as in that sacrifice we are using so many material ingredients. Some of the ingredients could be good, some of them are bad, some of them are in the medium, so like that. And there are so many colors as being spoken about the ingredients. So we need to use white color here, red color here, this color there, white colored chawal, black colored chawal, this, that. So many things are there. The distinctions are there. And so many rituals are there. Yajna means a lot of rituals are involved in that. So many mantras are chanted. So many establishments are there. So at the beginning of the sacrifice, the yajna should be established, and then the entire area should be cleaned and clothed and all these purified. Then Yajna should be performed, Yajna should be constructed, and all so many things are there. Sankalpas, so many sankalpas are taken that I'll take sankalpa that I'll perform this so and so yajna by so many days. Like there's so many sankalpas are there. Shaktis and names. So many energies are involved and so many names are being called about. So many people are used. So, and then having a nature of pure, condensed knowledge, Brahman, Vishuddha Vijnana Gana. So ultimately, all these activities are performed because they are all indicated by Vedas. The Vedas are spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whether one may treat him as Supreme Lord, one may treat him as Parabrahman, whichever it is. The Vedas are coming from the Supreme Absolute Truth. Whether you may call the Supreme Absolute Truth as Parabrahman or Paramatma or Bhagavan, that does not matter. But the Supreme Absolute Truth, Vishuddha Vijnana Gana, who is condensed form of knowledge. The Supreme Absolute Truth is condensed form of knowledge. So he says that if somebody want to perform Bhakti Mishra Karma, though there are a lot of material ingredients are involved, so many things are involved in performing yajna, so much limitations, contamination can be there in among all these things, but still one should perform. Just because some issues are there, one should not give up. One should perform them. So like that. King Prthu points with his index finger at the sacrifice being prepared. This sacrifice, though it has many qualities in Rajoguna, becomes without gunas, beyond the gunas in its final state, because of the power of bhakti present when the sacrifice is offered to the Supreme Lord. While undertaking the sacrifice, we may say that the sacrifice should be performed for this, for that, like there are so many ambitions might be there, so many desires might be there. But when the sacrifice is ultimately offered to Supreme Lord, the entire event becomes Shuddha Sattva, completely purified act. So like that. It becomes pure knowledge. It becomes endowed with the form of bliss of Brahman, since karma finally matures into liberation through jnana. So now the understanding is this. A grihastha who is dedicated to perform his varnashrama duties along with little bhakti, especially the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya who are twice born initiated and who have the qualification to perform yajna. While performing yajna, so many ingredients are being used in that, especially with the yajna is the elaborate one. So one should perform all these things as an offering to Supreme Lord. Not with the intention that, okay, if I perform this yajna, I'll go to Swarga and enjoy there with Apsaras for 10,000 years. Not like that. With the intention to attain liberation, one should be following the yajna, which is nothing but one's varna duty. For Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishya, therefore one of the principal duty that they should perform without fail every day is performing yajna. This is called nitya karma. So, when one practices these things, perform this yajna and other things during grihastha ashrama, by the end of the grihastha ashrama, one comes to the purified heart. One's heart is completely purified. One does not have any more material ambitions. Then such a person readily, voluntarily accepts Vanaprastha or Sannyasa and seriously practices Jnana Yoga and
हरे
Ashtanga
कृष्णा
Yoga.
प्रभु जी,
हाँ,
दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी आवाज है ना, कभी एकदम ही स्लो होते जा रही है, कभी एकदम क्लियर आ रही है, ऐसे हो रहा है। अभी एकदम कम हो गई थी तो सुन
सॉरी
नहीं
सॉरी,
पा रहे।
ये यहाँ पे मैं वृंदावन में हूँ, यहाँ पे इंटरनेट थोड़ा
अच्छा
वीक है,
अच्छा,
इसलिए
कोई
so
बात
it is
नहीं,
not able to catch properly.
नो प्रॉब्लम
Okay,
प्रभु जी।
I'll speak slowly so that it will not be an issue. So what I'm saying, a person who is dedicated to perform one's varna duties, especially the Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishyas, one of the important duty that they should perform every day is yajna, in addition to other duties also. But while performing yajna or other duty, they should perform the yajna finally thinking that this is meant for Lord's pleasure. Such kind of mentality eventually makes the art free of all material desires. Then one is qualified to enter into Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, where one continuously practices Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga with the temperament of Tapasya and Vairagya. And such a person with little bit of bhakti practices Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, eventually comes to the Jivan Mukta platform or Samadhi platform, and then eventually attains Vaibhya Mukti, liberation. It's like that. That means whatever yajna that we are performing, if we perform it as an offering, God eventually matures into Vairagya, then it transforms into Jnana, it will transform into Brahmananda, into Mukti. Therefore, One should perform with this intention, whatever one is performing. So this is called karma, Bhakti Mishra Karma. One is dedicated to perform Varna duties, no problem, perform your Varna duties. That will make all your Varna duties as Shuddha Sattva. Then one gets the qualification to enter into Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, so that one can practice Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, very complete surrender. That will award one Sahyajya Mukti, liberation. So Prthu is telling you these things also because there are some people who are interested in Sahyajya Mukti also. So Bhaktas are interested in Vaikuntha Mukti. The previous two chapters, previous two verses talks about it. And now two verses talk about Karma Mishra Bhakti, whose goal is Sahyajya Mukti. Like that. From the beginning, however, simply hearing and chanting the Lord's names are full of pure knowledge. But however, if by good fortune from the very childhood one is continuously chanting Harinam and hearing about the Lord, such people are, we can say, either practicing Uttama Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti or Karma Mishra Bhakti. But they are the most fortunate, they are filled with the transcendental knowledge. They are devoid of the gunas from the very beginning. They are already on the Nirguna platform. Thus, they are in all ways superior to karma. Such bhaktas are superior to karma always. But what about that? Everyone may not be like that. So for others, they should practice Bhakti Mishra Karma. Or the Lord, by his very nature, way beyond the gunas, full of pure knowledge on the path of karma, becomes sacrificed endowed with many gunas. So that Lord who is situated beyond the three gunas becomes yajna for those people who are dedicated to perform yajna. Who are still conditioned, who say that no, this is our family duty, we need to perform this yajna continuously without fail. For such persons, performing yajna is their bhakti unto Supreme Lord. That's what Lord says. What are the many qualities of the ingredient that are used in the yajna? So there are many types of materials such as rice, with color such as white, with actions such as thrashing the grains, and mantras with the preparations to complete each section of the sacrifice, with sankalpa, with shakti in other objects, and with names such as Jyotishtoma sacrifice. So basically, every ingredient that we use in the yajna, every action that we perform in the yajna, every name that ingredient have, in one sense, they all are endowed with material gunas, three gunas, rajas, sattva, tamas. But when all these things are offered to Supreme Lord and performed for the pleasure of the Lord, all these activities becomes Shuddha Sattva. That is what is telling. So that is how he is explaining how to perform Bhakti Mishra Karma. The previous verse talks. You understood the distinction? Anyone can respond. How do we distinguish Bhakti Mishra Karma and Karma Mishra Bhakti? Correction. Anyone can tell what is the distinction between these two?
Bhakti Mishra Karma and Karma Mishra. In Karma Mishra, there are maximum portion. If you consider as a mathematical, is the more in the karma and very little in a bhakti. But in bhakti, in a more, agar कहेंगे more percentage in the bhakti, less in karma. Just like a devotee who are.
Please, slowly. In which bhakti is more and karma is less? In which karma is more and bhakti is less?
Bhakti Mishra Bhakti Mishra. where
वो
bhakti is
भक्ति मिश्र
more.
भक्त कहाँ पे? Slow, slow,
No,
slow. Don't confuse.
Karma
See,
Mishra Bhakta and
we have
Bhakti
only
Mishra
two.
Karma.
भक्ति मिश्र कर्म and कर्म मिश्र भक्ति. इसको उल्टा पलटा कर सकते बस उतना ही. We
Yeah.
don't have third one.
So in Bhakti Mishra Karma, means karma, there is a mixture of bhakti. So in this case, we can consider there is less amount of bhakti there. But when there is a karma bhakti, karma mishra bhakta, when we karma is there, but bhakti is also there, but in we can say there more percentage we can say.
Oh, that is
or
fine.
vice versa, or
You are
vice.
talking about mathematical composition, but
Yeah.
how in a simplistic way, how do we understand that?
And simply means suppose we are just like we are bhakti, we are doing mostly in bhakti, but whatever we are performing or doing varnashram or whatever you are earning, we are offering to the Lord or you are giving donation. So mostly the devotional service, but there is work, we are doing work. So this in this condition the bhakti's percentage is very high and karma is very less. But in other case, bhakti is very less, karma is more.
So the previous verse which spoke about karma mishra bhakti, it is basically a person is a devotee. His life's ambition is to go back to Godhead. However, while living in this world, to take care of oneself and one's dependents also. Just to take care of oneself and one's dependents, one performs varnashrama duties. Not with the intention to enjoy here and go to Swarga and enjoy there. No. Whatever karmas one performs, he performs in such a way that they should be conducive to one's practice of bhakti. That is called karma mishra bhakti. He is principally a bhakta, but just to maintain his own body, he is also performing some worldly duties. That's all. On the other hand, the current verse talks about bhakti mishra karma. This person is dedicated to perform their varnashrama duties. A brahmana want to perform brahmanical duties. Kshatriya want to perform kshatriya duties. Vaishya want to perform vaishya duties. Shudra want to perform shudra duties. So no problem. Perform. They say work is worship. So no problem. Worship. But worship the Supreme Lord. Whatever phala you receive by performing your activities, that phala should be utilized to serve the Lord directly or indirectly. That purifies all one's activities. So, like that. Such a person, when one has developed a desire that whatever karmas I am doing, the result is meant to serve the Lord and also society, friends, and relatives, but not me. So the results are meant for everyone, but not me. Such a person's heart is slowly purified. Such a person is qualified to enter into Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, where one can practice Jnana Yoga thoroughly. And such a person who practices Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga thoroughly with the proper renunciation, without any desire to enjoy for oneself, such a person eventually attains Sahyajya Mukti. So that is the result of Karma Mishra Bhakti, Bhakti Mishra Karma. So like that. So basically, Karma Mishra Bhakta is dedicated to Supreme Lord only, but for his own maintenance, he performs karmas. And Bhakti Mishra Karmas is dedicated to perform one's Varnashrama duties, but there is some bhakti within it. He offers the results to Supreme Lord. He says, I need to do my duties, but the results are not meant for me, but meant for Supreme Lord and society. Such a person has no selfish motive, selfish desires. His heart becomes eventually pure and he becomes qualified to enter into Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, where he can practice Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga wholeheartedly. Such a person attains Sahyajya Mukti without fail. So like this is the result.
Prabhuji, this type of bhakta is considered as a niskama karma bhakta.
Nishkama karma yogi.
Achha,
Karma
niskama
Bhakti
karma.
Mishra karma means Nishkama karma yogi.
Niskama. Yeah.
So like that. Because we see majority of people like this only. All over India, so people say that we need to work is worship, and we need work. But some people, good, of course, in that also majority are sakama karmis only. They work, they want to enjoy the fruits. But in that good number of people, at least we see that, yeah, we should work as a matter of duty, and results are meant for Lord's enjoyment or society enjoyment, like that they say. So that a desire not to enjoy is called nishkama. So not for personal ambition. So like that. Not for personal sense gratification. So now it further continues. One more verse in relation to this karma, Bhakti Mishra Karma. Pradhana kalasya dharma sangrahe. Sorry. Pradhana kala shaya dharma sangrahe.
कालस्य धर्म संग्रहे
Sharira esha pratipadya chetanam.
शरीर एष प्रतिपद्य चेतनाम्
क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभाव्यते.
क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभवति
यतानलो दारुषु तत्गुणात्मकः.
यथा न लोकदर्शु गुणात्मकः. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervading, but He is also manifested in different types of bodies, which arise from a combination of material nature, time, desires, and occupational duties. Thus, different types of consciousness develop, just as fire, which is always basically the same, blazes in different ways according to the shape and dimension of firewood.
Supplying the intelligence in the body made up of prakriti, time, impressions, and fate. Pradhana, kala, ashaya, dharma, sangrahe. So that the person offers karmas to the Lord. The Lord himself appears at the various results of those actions, just as fire appears in various types of woods with the qualities of those woods. So here, the understanding is the Supreme Lord has given us the body, intelligence, senses, everything, which are the transformations of our pradhana, kala, ashaya, dharma, sangraha, etc. But past samskaras and material nature, three modes, and all these things are there. For what purpose? So that all of us can perform our respective varna duties and ashtama duties and offer them to the Supreme Lord. For such people, those who perform their respective duties and offer them to Supreme Lord becomes very much pleased, and Supreme Lord comes to them in the form of the corresponding results. The results are nothing but the Lord only. When we perform an activity and Lord, whatever Supreme Lord. See, Lord says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tamstaiva vajamiham. So we are performing our activities and offering the results to Supreme Lord. Then in reciprocation, the Lord is offering himself to us in the form of results. So this is how the Lord reciprocates. The Supreme Lord himself appears at the various results of those actions, just as fire appears in various types of woods with qualities of those woods. So bigger activity, bigger result, smaller activity, smaller result. Just like every wood has a different quality of fire. The results of karmas offered to the Lord along with some bhakti is nothing but the attainment of the Supreme Lord. When we offer the results of our karmas along with little bhakti to Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord will be very much pleased and he will offer himself to us in the form of results. The body is composed of avyakta, time, which is the agitator of avyakta, impressions, and fate and karma. So basically, our body is made up of the three modes of material nature, which is manifesting in the form of 24 elements: earth, water, fire, and ether, granindriyas, karmendriyas, manbuddhi, ahankara, chetana, etc., etc. So they are made up of prakriti or avyakta, and it is the time which is instigating different activities within this body. And then there are so many impressions from the previous lives and so many desires to perform our karmas, and we are forced to experience the results of our previous karmas, fate. So in that way, the Lord himself producing the intelligence situated in the body, so that one offers karmas to the Lord appears as the results of action. The Lord who gave us the intelligence will enable us to offer the results to Supreme Lord. Then he reciprocates with us as the results. Yadatra kriyate karma bhagavat paritoshanam jnanam yattad adhinam hi bhakti yoga samanvitam. That jnana which arises from karma, pleasing to the Lord because of being offered to him, is endowed with bhakti. So basically, when we perform our varna and ashrama duties as a householder, when we offer those results to Supreme Lord, as an offer to Supreme Lord, what is the final outcome? The renunciation that makes one qualified to take to Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, where one can practice Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. When one practices Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga and offers it to Supreme Lord, what is the result of that? That result is Brahmabhuta platform. When having come to Brahmabhuta platform, one completely surrenders to Supreme Lord, then the result is the realization of Brahman or Bhagavan. When one offers that realization to Supreme Lord, what is the result of that? The result is entering into Brahman or entering into Vaikunta according to the desire of that personality or the sadhaka. So like that at multiple levels, whatever we do when we offer it to Supreme Lord, Lord gives us qualification to the next step. Then if we do that and offer it to Supreme Lord, Lord gives us qualification to the next step. When we do that and offer it to the Lord, then Lord gives us qualification to the next step. Finally taking one beyond the material modes of three modes of material nature or the material world, giving one eternal liberation. This is how the Lord reciprocates with a person who is slowly, gradually surrendering. It's like that. According to this verse, karma offered to the Lord by becoming jnana mixed with bhakti gives one attainment of the Lord. That is basically, as a grahastha, when one performs all one's varna duties and offers all the results to the Supreme Lord, the result is renunciation. Then one enters into Vanaprastha sannyasa and practices Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. If one offers the Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, the results of that Brahmabhuta platform and to Supreme Lord, then the result is liberation, either Sahajya Mukti or Salokya Mukti. So that's how the Lord offers the final result based on one's endeavor, based on one's surrender. However, according to the amount of bhakti and faith in offering the karmas, there will be corresponding jnana and corresponding attainment of the Lord. So, while performing our duties, so duties we are performing. So, what extent of bhakti is there? If bhakti is more, the results are different. If bhakti is less, the results are different. That is what is understood now. Everyone need to perform karma. All of us in the material world, whether we are devotees or non-devotees or karmis or jnanis or yogis, we need to perform karma. There is no excuse for performing karma. So while doing karma, what extent we possess bhakti, with that the results are varying. So now, just as the fire situated in sandalwood, agaru, dhava or kadira wood, takes on the qualities of those woods respectively. So the Lord gives results to actions according to the type of worship done by the worshipper. The fire is like karma, but sandalwood fire coming from the sandalwood is fragrant fire. The fire coming from a bush is very miserable fire. So like that. So the wood is bhakti, fire is karma. The combination will tell you the result. For the person doing nishkama karma with little bhakti, finally there is Sahajya Mukti. If there is less bhakti and more desire to perform karma, they at max they attain Sahajya Mukti. For the person doing karma mishra bhakti, there is Shantarati. On the other hand, others do karmas for the purpose of maintaining themselves, but their main interest is bhakti. Such people attain Shantarati. They go to Vaikuntha, but they attain Shantarati. And others who perform other Ananya Bhakti, not with much karmas, they will attain Samipya or Sarupya Muktis or Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, Madhurya, Ratis. So, like that. According to the amount of bhakti, the Lord gives Salokya and other benedictions. If more bhakti is there, then more greater results will come. So beyond Shantarasi, one will get Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, and Madhurya. That depends on the amount of bhakti one possesses. Thus, the importance of the quality present in a person has been shown. Therefore, anyway, we have to perform Varnashram. There is no excuse for that. But we need to add bhakti to it. So based on the amount of bhakti that we add, the determined. So more bhakti, more greater the result. Less bhakti, less greater the result. So that is the understanding. You are able to follow this particular lines, last two lines. Those who perform Nishkama Karma Yoga, they are qualified to enter into Vanaprastha Sannyasa, then they practice Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. And those who come to Jivan Mukta platform, they are qualified to attain Sahajya Mukti. So their maximum result is Sahajya Mukti only. On the other hand, those who are performing Karma Mishra Bhakti, so they are Bhaktas only, but they are also performing lot of karma for the purpose of maintaining. They attain to Shantarati in Vaikuntha. And if the bhakti component is becoming more and more and karma component is becoming lesser and lesser, and they attain further results. Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, and Madhurya. So if there is 51% of bhakti, 14% of karma, there is Shantarati. Then 61% of bhakti, 60% of bhakti, 40% of karma. There we can say the Pharisee. 70% of bhakti and 30% of karma. Sakyarati. 90% bhakti, something like that. 90% of bhakti and 10% of karma. Vasalyarati. And then 100% of bhakti, 0% of bhakti, or 99% of bhakti, 1% of karma. We can say Madhuri Bhakti, Madhuri Rati. So like that, as they are gradually going, bhakti component should increase. The more the bhakti elevated results. So like that, we have to understand. I mean, this is not a Shastric Praman, just I'm giving a knowledge to help us understand. If karma is more than 50%, that becomes Nishkama Karma Yoga. If bhakti becomes more than 50%, that becomes Karma Mishra Bhakti. It is becoming 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. The results will increase. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, Madhurya. Like that, they are gradually increasing. Like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Little louder.
Hare Krishna. So when you say the bhakti is increases, you mean the performance of the various limbs of bhakti, or in the change of consciousness, like in bhakti
Wait.
karma?
One second. We could not follow what you are saying exactly. So a lot of noise is coming, Prabhuji.
Hello. Now it's clear, bro.
Better. We cannot say clear. Go ahead.
So you said that when the bhakti increases, you get the higher result. So when you said bhakti increases, what you mean the performance of the various limbs of bhakti, or like in change in goal, like in Bhakti Mr. Karma, the person has the desire to enjoy the positive results.
No. See, when we come to here, there is no more desire. We are not talking about the people who have desire to enjoy. All these people, whether it is Bhakti Mishra Karma or Karma Mishra Bhakti, they don't have any desire to enjoy. They have only one desire to go back to Godhead. For those who want to desire to enjoy, that is not even introduced as of now. That is not being spoken about. उनके लिए बोल के कुछ फायदा नहीं. From the very beginning, he established very clearly. If all of you practice bhakti, there is a hope that I will attain perfection. The purpose of doing all these things is to go to Godhead, go back, attain liberation, not to stay back and enjoy. वो enjoy का बात ही नहीं चल रहा है इधर. वो कहाँ से लेके आपने?
Okay, so you mean when you said the first bhakti inclusive, what exactly means?
What exactly means? Vaidhi bhakti to Raganuga bhakti. In Vaidhi bhakti, we have so many rules and regulations to practice bhakti as well as so many rules and regulations to practice varnashrama duties also. When you enter into Raganuga bhakti, there is no more performance of varnashrama duties. It is only bhakti one performs. So in that way. Okay. Then the citizens are questioning, "O king, O master, we have become successful by your instructions. We will always worship the Lord." When King Prthu hears the citizens speaking in this way, he responds. So people have understood. They have got three options to practice. One is Ananya Bhakti, only exclusive Bhakti. Second is Karma Mishra Bhakti. Third is Bhakti Mishra Karma. So indicated that at least to follow one of these three. If you are qualified, practice Ananya Bhakti. Otherwise, at least practice Karma Mishra Bhakti. If not that, at least practice Bhakti Mishra Karma. Nothing below this. Prthu Maharaj did not give any scope that one should perform one's varnashrama duties to enjoy in this world. He is not even speaking that word. He is telling that all of us should perform our duties with the intention to go back to Godhead. That is the motive of life. Uske niche kuch bhi nahi bol rahe. When he said all these things, all people said, yes, definitely will practice bhakti from today on. They gave their sankalpa. Then Prthu expressing his gratitude. Aho amami vitarantanugraham.
Aho mamami vitarantanugraham.
Harim gurum yajna bhujamadishwaram.
Harim gurum yajna bhujam adiswaram.
Swadharma yogena jajanti mamaka.
Swadharma yogena jantya mamaka.
Nirantaram kshonitale drudavrataha.
Nirantaram kshonitale drudavrataha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the master and enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. And he is the supreme spiritual master as well. All of you citizens on the surface of the globe who have a relationship with me and are worship him by dint of your occupational duties are bestowing your mercy upon me. Therefore, O my citizens, I thank you.
The citizens under my care on this earth are merciful to me. When they said, we'll all perform bhakti as you instructed, then he's saying that all of you are merciful upon me. With great determination, they constantly worship the Supreme Lord, the enjoyer of the sacrifice, the Yajnapati, Yajnabhujam, and the Supreme Guru by their occupational duties. When they declare that we will perform, then he's praying to Supreme Lord. May the Lord be pleased with all their activities. May the Lord, with the Supreme Guru, offer them the proper jnana, dadami buddhiyogam tam, yenama upayantite, so that they will all go back to Supreme Lord. That is his prayer to Supreme Lord. So now, after telling all these things, what they should do, then anyway, in doing all these things, we should be cautious about how to deal with the people of this world. So what we should not do, that is also what we should do is explained till now, and what we should not do, that he will explain in the next section. In order to firmly establish Bhakti, King Prthu now forbids neglecting the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. So in order to practice Bhakti or whatever has been mentioned till now, to practice all these things, one should never ever disrespect the sadhus, whom we see as Brahmanas and Vaishnavas around us in the society. So they should be given the highest respect because the Lord treats them with utmost great care and respect. If Lord himself is respecting them, why not we? Why we should not respect them? So one should always worship the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas while executing one's varnashram duties, while practicing one's bhakti. That will enable one to attain the Lord quickly. If these people are pleased, the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased, the Lord is also pleased very quickly. So with that intention, he is going to speak now. So let us see. Majatu teja prabhavan mahardibis.
Majatu tejaha prabhaven mahaddivis.
Titikshaya tapasa vidyaya cha.
Titikshaya tapasa vidyaya cha.
Te dipyamane jita devatanam.
De dipyamane jita devatanam.
Kule swayam rajakuladvijanam.
Kule swayam rajakulad vijanam. Translation. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge, and education. By dint of all these spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material prowess before these two communities and should avoid offending them.
Because of being in a royal family, because of great wealth, because of possessing great wealth, especially the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, who are Kshatriyas in the royal family and with great wealth, and Vaishyas also with great wealth, they should not exert power over the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas. So Vaishnavas are Ajita Devatanam, Brahmanas are Dvijanam, who are shining Dedipyamane with tolerance, austerity, and knowledge. Titiksha, Tapasa, and Vidya. So those who are supposed to be called as Brahmana or Vaishnava, they should be having these three principal qualities. Titiksha should be there, tolerance, Tapasya, austerity should be there, and Vidya, the proper understanding of absolute truth. Brahma Jnanati iti Brahmana, that should be there. One should not exert, no Kshatriya should exert their power as a king because of his great wealth over the families of Vaishnavas. Ajita Devatanam and Brahmanas who are shining spontaneously with good qualities like tolerance, but who do not have great wealth and power. Just because Kshatriyas have great wealth and power, they should not look down or ridicule the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas who are poverty stricken, who don't have any power, but their wealth is Titiksha, Tapasya, and Vidya. That is their wealth. That is the real wealth. The material wealth is not the real wealth. So, like that is indicating the super excellent position of the devotees. And the Brahmanas who have understood the absolute truth, who are acting as the gurus for the entire society. So both of them should be respected with utmost care because their wealth is the real wealth. The wealth of the Kshatriya and Vaishya is not the real wealth. This is only material wealth. So in that way. In 7 verses, King Prthu recommends devotion to the Brahmanas for making bhakti strong. They are the repetition of what Lord Vishnu has stated, Lord Sankarsana has stated, Lord Vishnu has stated in 3rd Canto 16th chapter text number 7 to 12 in order to teach us. In the Kumaras episode, when the 4 Kumaras came to Vaikunta and somehow they were stopped by Jaya Vijaya and they cursed Jaya Vijaya, immediately Lord came and pacified. During that, Lord glorifies the Brahmanas. He glorifies them from 7 to 12th verse. The similar glorification now coming. The similar kind of description is coming again once again. So we can see the comparison of both the sections also in this. Brahmanya Deva Purusha Puratana.
Brahmanya Deva Tano.
Nityam Harirya Charanabhivandanat.
Nityam Harirya Charanarbi Vandanat.
Avapalakshmi Manapayinim Yasho.
Avapalakshmin Anapaunimya Yasho.
Jagat Pavitram Cha Mahattamagrani.
Jagat Pavitram Cha Mahatma Graniha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ancient, eternal Godhead, who is foremost among all great personalities, obtained the opulence of his staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
By worshipping the Brahmana's feet, the Supreme Lord, the greatest, the oldest, and the foremost person, the protector of the Brahmanas, Brahmanya Deva, obtained eternal, undying, splendorous fame, which purifies the whole universe. So Prthu is telling that it is by worshipping the feet of the Brahmanas, the Supreme Lord with the Purana Purusha, with the foremost of persons, with the famous, with the greatest of all, with the protector of all the Brahmanas, attained great fame, and that fame purifies the entire universe. Lakshmim Yasha Jagat Pavitram. So Lord's fame purifies the entire universe, but that fame Lord obtains it by serving the Brahmanas. So that is the glory of Brahmanas. That's how here Prthu Maharaj is glorifying. So same thing, there Lord Vishnu spoke to Jai Vijay and 4Kumaras in the assembly. This is the verse from 3rd canto, 16th chapter. Yassevaya charana padma pavitra renum sadhyakshata kilamalam pratilabdha shilam nasrir viraktam apimam vijahanti yasya prekshala niyaman vahanti. It is the 7th verse of the 16th chapter, 7 to 12. So 7th verse, first verse. Even Lakshmi, to whom I show no attachment, but to gain whose favor all others perform vows, does not give up the dust of my feet, which immediately destroy all contamination and are full of all qualities. But these feet are made pure by service to devotees like you. So he says that all the entire world is worshipping Mother Lakshmi. And that Mother Lakshmi does not stay at one place fixed, does not want to leave my lotus feet, because that lotus feet has the dust which purifies the entire universe. So Mother Lakshmi want to be very close to that. But why the dust of my lotus feet becomes capable of ability to purify the entire universe? That is because of I worship the devotees like you. Because I worship the devotees like you, my dust from my lotus feet becomes as powerful as purifying the entire universe. In order to get that purification, Mother Lakshmi always stays near to my lotus feet, while everyone in the universe is worshipping her. So like that, is glorifying the Brahmanas. Yes, Sevaya Shesha Bhagasya Swashadra Swarad.
Yat sevaya shesha guhasaya swarat.
Vipra Priyastushyati Kamameshwaraha.
Vipra priyastushyati kamamishwaraha.
Tadeva Tadmapatirvinitai.
Tadeva taddharma parer vinitahe.
Sarvatmana Brahmakulam Nishevyatam.
Sarvatmana Brahmakulam Nishevyatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is everlastingly independent and who exists in everyone's heart, is very pleased with those who follow in his footsteps and engage without reservation in the service of the descendants of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. For he is always dear to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and they are always dear to him.
By serving to them, by service to them, the unlimited independent Lord, who is dwelling in the heart, dear to the Brahmanas, satisfies all desires. So therefore, if we serve the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, the Paramatma who is dwelling in the heart of every living entity becomes satisfied with us. That means if by our service the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are satisfied, then the Supreme Lord is also satisfied. That is the understanding. Therefore, those who are following dharma and good conduct should should serve the Brahmanas with a heart. So therefore, every person should always serve the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, because by their service Paramatma is pleased. What else you want? Like that. So then the question is, if we do not serve the Brahmanas, there will be no sacrifice to Agni, the mouth of the Devatas. We will not become purified in the heart, and thus cannot get liberation. 2 verses reply to this fear. So somebody might be expressing some fear. If we do not serve the Brahmanas, there will be no sacrifice to Agni, the mouth of the Devatas. We will not become purified in the heart, and thus cannot get liberation. So somebody may say that no, yes, what you are saying right. Actually, if we have to serve Brahmanas, if we only serve the Brahmanas will come and help us perform yajna. If we don't perform yajna, the Devatas will not be satisfied. If Devatas don't satisfied, they will not provide whatever we need, and finally we don't attain liberation. Some may think like that. Yes, we need to serve Brahmanas because they teach us perform yajna. Baba, not just like that. There are many things. So we need to satisfy Brahmanas, not so that the Brahmanas will help us perform yajna, not for that purpose. There is a higher purpose. No need to worry about this one. What is that higher purpose? Pumalabeta nativelanam atmanam. Puman labeta nativelam atmanaha.
Uman
Man
labena
labetan
Prasidatotyantasham swatasvayam.
prasidato atyanta shamam swata swayam
Yannitya sambandha nishevaya tataha.
yannitya sambandha nishevaya tataha
Param kimatrasti mukam havirbhujam.
param kimatrasti mukham havirbhujam. By regular service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can clear the dirt from his heart and thus enjoy supreme peace and liberation from material attachment and be satisfied. In this world, there is no fruitive activity superior to serving the Brahmana class, for thus can bring pleasure to the demigods for whom the many sacrifices are recommended. Hare Krishna.
So if somebody expresses the fear that no, yes, what you are saying is right, we need to worship the Brahmanas, then only we can perform yajna. When yajna is performed, Devatas are pleased. When Devatas are pleased, we get whatever we want. So eventually, finally, we attain liberation. For that, Lord says, by constant service to the Brahmanas, a person quickly and spontaneously achieves liberation. He says that even without performing yajna, also if you simply satisfy the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, you can attain liberation. Shastra tells us satisfy the Brahmanas, not to execute the yajna, not just to execute the yajna. Yes, if it is required, you can do that also. But still, one who simply follows the Kshatriyas and not Brahmanas and Acharyas, and will get greater benefit. Then he says, what better mouth of the Sevatas exists? Now, the Yajna is considered to be the mouth of the Supreme Lord. Through Yajna, we are feeding all the Devatas. By saying that word, we are feeding all the respective Devatas.
We can't hear you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Now you are able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So now Lord says that just by constantly serving the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can spontaneously attain liberation. Because of a satisfied mind. By this, the person who is serving is satisfied. The person who receives service is also satisfied. What better mouth of the Devatas exists? By constant service to the Brahmana, the mind becomes content. From that, spontaneously one quickly achieves liberation. Is there a better mouth for the Devatas? By service to the Brahmanas, all the results of sacrifice and cultivated are appeal. That means just by pleasing the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one gets more results than performing a yajna. And performing yajna means performing karma. And performing tapasya means practicing jnana. So satisfaction of the Brahmana and Vaishnava, whatever result that offer is better than the results obtained by performing Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So they, in a way, they establish the position of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas as the highest, higher than the Karma and Jnana. So like that. Then he further continues. Ashna Sananta Kalutatva Kovida.
Asnat Jananta
Please continue.
Asnat Jananta Khalu Tattva Kovidai
Shraddha Hutam Yanmukai Janamabhi.
Shraddha Hutam Yanmuka Ijya Namabhi.
आज जोड़ दिया किसी का क्या कहूँ
Navai
ठीक है
Navai Tata Chetanaya Bahishkrute.
मैंने क्या सोचा, मैंने कहा इनका पागल ही दिमाग लगता है, वैसे तो आने दो, अगर मुझे जरूरत ही है
Hutasane Paramahansya Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead Ananta eats through the fire sacrifices offered in the names of different demigods, he does not take as much pleasure in eating through fire as he does in accepting offerings through the mouths of learned sages and devotees. For then he does not leave the association of devotees.
Yes. The Lord, whose words are realized by those qualified as devotees and jnanis. The Lord, whose words are realized by those qualified as devotees and jnanis, eats what is offered to the mouth of the Brahmanas, given with faith and mantras by the learned, and does not accept to the same extent what is offered to the fire, which is devoid of consciousness. That means, so what kind of Brahmanas and what kind of Vaishnavas? Those who realize the words of the Supreme Lord, who have realized the words of Supreme Lord, who has dedicated their life to follow the teachings of the Lord. Such kind of people are known as Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Such kind of sadhus, when they are fed, when they are satisfied, their Lord is completely satisfied. But The Lord is not satisfied to that extent when one feeds the fire in the yajna. That is understanding. So when we say Brahmanas and Vaishnavas here in this section, they are not ordinary people. Paramahamsa Pariyaguhu. The Lord whose words are realized by those qualified as the devotees and jnanis. So whomsoever your Brahmanas means the jnanis and Vaishnavas means the devotees. The devotees and the jnanis who have completely realized the teachings of the Supreme Lord and leading their life based on the teachings of the Supreme Lord. Only they should be worshipped. I mean, their satisfaction will award immediate liberation. So that is understanding. Not ordinary superficial Brahmanas and superficial devotees. Completely self-realized devotees and self-realized jnanis. So like that. The Brahmana's mouth is preferred by the Lord. The Lord eats what is given. Just as one of Devatas when offering ghee into the fire. One can offer cooked rice into the Brahmana's mouth, the same mantra. Even while offering to such kind of devotee, one should say every morsel. Idam Indraya Swaha, Idam Nama, Idam Varunaya Swaha, Idam Nama, like that. Whatever mantras are being chanted at the yajna can be chanted while feeding the pure devotee. The Lord accepts that offering. So like that. When the Lord has eaten, all the devatas are fully satisfied and pleased. Yata taror moola nishevanena drupyanti tatkanda bhujopashaka yatopahara chatatendriyanam sarvara tataiva sarvarhana mattu teja. Just like feeding the roots, the whole plant is nourished. Feeding the stomach, the whole body is nourished. Immediately worshipping Lord Vishnu, the entire universe is nourished. But how to worship Lord Vishnu? Serving the pure devotees. So in that way. The same cannot be said for fire, which is devoid of consciousness. Paramahamsa Paregu means the Lord whose words at the Vedas are, whose bodily effulgence is realized by persons qualified as devotees or jnanis. That means those who have completely realized and internalized the essence of the Vedas, they are called as Paramahamsa, the pure devotees and the purified jnanis. So they should be worshipped, they should be respected in that way. The same thing Lord speaks in the third canto. Naham tatadmi yajama nahaver viravitane sochad grita plutam adan huta bahun mukena yad brahmanasya mukatas charato nughasam tushtasya mayavahitair nija karma pakai. So here Lord Vishnu said, I do not eat the offerings of sacrifice accepted through my mouth in the form of fire, as much as I eat the morsels filled with ghee enjoyed by the mouth of the Brahmana, who is satisfied by the results of his actions offered to me. So like that. Lord says, I am more satisfied with the prasada offered to the pure devotee than fire sacrifice. So like that, he says. Hare Krishna, all of you are able to follow. Any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji, following Prabhuji.
Yad Brahma Nityam Virajam Sanatanam
Yad Brahma Nityam Virajam Sanatanam
Shraddha Tapo Mangala Mauna Samyut Samyamai
Shraddha Tapo Mangala Mauna Sammamai
Samadhina Bibratihar Harta Drushtaye
Samadhina Vibhratir अर्थदृष्टये
यत्रेदमादर्शय इव भासते
यत्रेदमिदर्श एव वा भासते. Translation.
तेषामहं पादसरोजरेणुम्
तेषां पादसरोजरेणुम्
आर्यावहेयादिकिरीटमायुः
आर्याबाह्याधिकृतम् आयुः
यं नित्यदा बिभृत आशु पापम्
यं नित्यदा बिभृत असुपापम्
न सत्यमुष्मिन् न सत्यमुं सर्वगुणा भजन्ति
नश्यति अमुं सर्वगुणा भजन्ति. In Brahmanical culture, a Brahmana's transcendental position is eternally maintained because the injunctions of Vedas are accepted with faith, austerity, scriptural conclusions, full sense, and mind control and meditation. In this way, the real goal of life is illuminated, such as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. O respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessings of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. He who can carry such dust on his head is very soon relieved of all the reactions which arise from sinful life, and eventually he develops all good and desirable qualities.
So now there could be one question. Why Prthu Maharaj is highly glorifying these Brahmanas and Vaishnavas? What makes them worthy of such glorification? That is kind of hinted here now. Oh, honorable people, since the Brahmana by faith, by austerity, by proper conduct, by silence, and by sense control and by mind control, continuously supports the eternal pure Veda, in which this universe is reflected as in a mirror, in order to obtain knowledge of the truth about the objects for my whole life. I pray to carry on my crown the dust from the lotus feet of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, which quickly destroys sin and award all good qualities to one who bears it. So basically, the Brahmanas are endowed with, the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are endowed with all these wonderful qualities such as faith, Shraddha, austerity, tapa, proper conduct, mangala, silence, mauna, sense control, samyama, mind control, samadhi, and continuously supports the pure eternal Veda, the teachings of Veda, in which we can understand the reality of this material world and the reality of the Supreme Lord. Because the Vedas talk about the reality of every object, the Brahmanas are taken full shelter of this Vedas, then they are speaking about the reality every now and then. So taking shelter of them will award us the real knowledge. Therefore, I always take the dust of such Brahmanas on my head, means I continuously surrender myself at their lotus feet and I follow the instructions given by such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas for my purification. So indirectly King is telling that just like the Lord has said, just like I am also saying now that I want to take shelter of Brahmanas continuously because they have taken shelter of Vedas and they are controlling their self and they are always working for the well-being of the entire universe, that will offer us perfection. I request all of you also take shelter of Brahmanas and never ever misjudge or disrespect them. That will only offer all of us the ultimate good. Because they are the gurus, their shelter should be taken. So in that way, the Brahmana is not superior to the fire just because he is conscious and fire is non-conscious, but because he has knowledge. Because Brahmana has taken shelter of the Vedas, he is worthy of worship. not because he is living and fire is dead. The Brahmana supports the Vedas by faith, by austerity, by proper conduct, by silence and sense control. Mangala is defined as the wise sages have said that Mangala means proper conduct at all times, while being devoid of bad conduct. Silence means avoiding that talking, which is contrary to the study of the Vedas. Mauna means not to talk anything which is not mentioned in the Vedas. Samadhina means steadiness of mind, complete focus on the teachings of the Vedas. Why? They support the Vedas for knowledge of real things. Artha Drishtaye. They don't support the Vedas to take one to Swarga. They don't support the Vedas to get Dakshina and all. They support the Vedas for the right things. The Vedas Sarve Rahameva Vidyo. They have understood it and they teach that. That's why they are worthy of worship. How do the Vedas do this? In the Vedas, everything in this world becomes its subject. The Vedas reveal everything about the world. The Vedas are like the mirror. In the mirror, we see about ourselves. Same way in the Vedas, we see the reality of the material world and the reality of the spiritual world. O honorable people, for my whole life, I shall carry on my crown the dust from the feet of the pure Brahmanas and pure Vaishnavas. For the person carrying the dust, it destroys sin and all good qualities come to that person who carries the dust. So we have been discussing so much about dust. The real understanding of dust is the instructions, the teachings that are given by such a pure Vaishnava and pure Brahmana. That should be followed. Taking their dust on our head means taking their instructions on our head and taking them as life and soul and following for the entire life. That is the meaning. So same thing Lord Vishnu told in the third canto also, wherein he said, who would not tolerate the offense of Brahmanas? Hi, whose foot water immediately purifies all the planets, and Shiva, that is Ganga. That Ganga which is purifying the 14 lokas and also Lord Shiva, carry on my crown Brahmanas pure foot dust, and by that have attained unlimited wealth of power. So Ganga became so powerful because it is coming from a lotus feet. And my lotus feet have become so powerful because I keep the dust of Brahmanas on my head. So that's how Lord said in the past. Same thing Prthu is also telling now. So in this way, Prthu already determined that, saying that I am determined to keep the instructions of Brahmanas and pure Vaishnavas on my head and follow them life and soul. And the same thing I expect from all of you. Indirectly, without telling only, he is indicating to all the citizens the same thing. So like that. And the last verse spoken by Prthu Maharaj, the last instruction. Gunayanam Shiladanam Krutagnyam.
Gunayanam Shiladanam Krutagnyam.
Puruddashrayam Samvrunate Nu Sampada.
Vridashrayam Samvrinatenu Sampada.
Prasidatam Brahma Kulam Gavamcha.
Prasidatam Brahma Kulam Gavamcha.
Janardana Sanucharascha Mayam.
Janardana Sanucharascha Mahyam. Whoever acquires the Brahminical qualifications, whose only wealth is good behavior, who is grateful, and who takes shelter of experienced persons, gets all the opulence of the world. I therefore wish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his associates be pleased with the Brahmana class, with the cows, and with me.
All wealth accrues to the person with good qualities, a wealth of good conduct and gratitude, who takes shelter of the elders. So basically, all wealth accrues, material and spiritual, to such a person with good qualities, a wealth of good conduct and gratitude, who takes shelter of the elders. Here elders means the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. May the Lord, along with his followers, the Brahmanas, the cows, be pleased with me. Because Shastra says those who take shelter of the elders, they will be endowed with all good fortune. So same way, I want to take shelter of these great Vaishnavas and great Brahmanas in order to endow with all good fortune. I request the same thing for all of you also. And finally, may the Lord be pleased with us, the protector of cows and the Brahmanas. The result of a person having good qualities is stated. Wealth, like a woman who chooses a husband on her own, chooses spontaneously that person. So that means the spiritual wealth, the surrender, humility, and bhakti, the Bhakti Devi chooses such a person who takes shelter of Guru, a prominent Vaishnava and Brahmana as one's Guru. So like that. So these are the instructions of Prthu Maharaj to the citizens. He spoke about what is to be done. He also spoke about what is not to be done. And he spoke about why it is not to be done, why it is to be done. All these things he has kind of properly informed, so that there will be no doubts. The citizens can follow. He also spoke in such a way that if you follow all these things, I will attain perfection. So definitely, if not for them, for the sake of king, they will follow. That will bring their attainment of perfection, both for themselves and for the king also. This is how intelligently Prthu engaged them in the devotional service. Now, in the remaining part of the chapter, the citizens will respond. They congratulate the king. All these things are mentioned in the remaining part of the chapter. Any questions till now?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Iti Bruvanam Nrupatim.
Iti Bruvanam Nrupatim.
Pitrudeva Dvijataya.
Pitrudeva Dvijataya.
Tushtuvor Purushta Manasa.
Prushtuvor Hrishta Manasaha.
Sadhuvadena Sadavaha.
Sadhuvadena Sadavaha. The great sage Maitreya said, after hearing King Prthu speak so nicely, all the demigods, the denizens of the Pitraloka, the Brahmanas, and the saintly persons present at the meeting congratulated him by expressing their goodwill.
The Pitrus, Devatas, Brahmanas, and devotees, with joyful hearts, kind words, praise the king who had just spoken. Putrena jayate lokan.
Putrena jayate lokan.
Iti satyavati shruti.
Iti satyavati shruti. Brahmadanda hata papo.
Yadveno tyatarattamaha.
Yadveno tyatarattamaha. They all declared that the Vedic conclusion that one can conquer the heavenly planets by the action of a putra or son was fulfilled. For the most sinful Vena, who has been killed by the curse of the Brahmanas, was now delivered from the darkest region of hellish life by his son, Maharaja Prthu.
The Vedas speak the truth when they say, the father attained the highest destination through the son. Putrena jayate lokan. Since the sinful Vena, killed by the curse of the Brahmanas who went to hell, he was delivered from the his son Prthu. So the first thing they said is that, yeah, the Vedas have glorified that by the wonderful activities of the son, the father is delivered. Hey Prthu, by your wonderful activities, your son, your father, though cursed by the Brahmanas and killed and went to say hell, he is delivered from hell. If a dead person is delivered from hell, then what to speak of the live people? So in that way, they are glorifying the wonderful activities of Prthu. Another example they give. Hiranyakashipuschapi.
Hiranyakashipuschapi.
Bhagavan Nindayatamaha.
Bhagavan Nindayatamaha.
Vivikshuratyagasuno.
Vivikshur Atyagat Sunoho.
Prahladasyanubhavata.
Prahladasyanu Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, who by dint of his sinful activities always defied the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered into the darkest region of hellish life. But by the grace of his great son Prahlada Maharaja, he was also delivered and went back home, back to Godhead.
Just like Vena delivered by your wonderful activities. Similarly, in the past, we have seen that. I mean, like one example they are giving. Hiranyakashipu also, who entered hell because of criticizing the Supreme Lord, was delivered because of his son Prahlada. So like that. Veeravarya Pati Prithvya.
Veeravarya Pita Prithvyaha.
Sama Sanjeeva Shashwati.
Sama Sanjeeva Saswatihi.
Yasse Drishi Achyute Bhakti.
Yashye Drishi Achyute Bhakti.
Sarvalokaika Bhartari.
Sarvalokaika Bhartari. All the saintly Brahmanas thus addressed Prthu Maharaja, O best of the warriors, O father of this globe, may you be blessed with a long life, for you have great devotion to the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of all the universe.
O Father of the earth, best of the warriors, live for eternal years. You have such devotion to Supreme Lord, the one maintainer of all planets. Since you have similar bhakti, just like Prahlada has wonderful bhakti unto Supreme Lord, you also have wonderful bhakti to our Supreme Lord. May you live long. So like that they are blessing. Aho vayam pavitra kirte.
Aho vayam ki adya pavitra kirte.
Tvayeva natena mukundanata.
Tvayaiva natena mukundanataha.
Ya uttama shlokatamsya Vishnor.
Ya uttama shloka tamasya Vishnor.
Brahmanya devasya katam vyanakti.
Brahmanya devasya katam vyanakti. The audience continued, Dear King Prthu, your reputation is the purest of all, for you are preaching the glories of the most glorified of all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Brahmanas. Since due to our great fortune, we have you as our master, we think that we are living directly under the agency of the Lord.
Oh, most glorious Prthu, today we have become the possessors of a master because you have taken the throne. You have explained all about the most praised Supreme Lord, affectionate to the Brahmanas. Since you have accepted the role of a master, all of us have become Sanata today. You are our master. King Prthu is addressed as Mukunda because he is the Lord in the sense of giving bhakti to the Lord Mukunda. So, in that way. So, Mukunda is glorified as Mukunda Nata, that because he spoke about bhakti. By practicing bhakti, one attains Lord Mukunda. One attains Mukti and goes back to Mukunda. That's why Prthu is also called as Mukunda Nata. Natyadbhutam idam nata.
Natyadbhutam idam nata.
Tava jivanuशासनम.
Tava jivyanusasanam.
Prajanurago Mahatam
Prajanurago Mahatam
Prakriti Karunatmanam.
Prakriti Karunatmanam. Our dear Lord, it is your occupational duty to rule over your citizens. That is not a very wonderful task for a personality like you, who are so affectionate in seeing to the interests of the citizens, because you are full of mercy. That is the greatness of your character.
O Lord, instructing your lifelong servants is not so astonishing for you, because the nature of great merciful persons is to have affection for the citizens. So you have been instructing us in a detailed manner. This is not astonishing for you because you care for us so much. That's why you are able to do all this. Then finally they say that having accepted you as our master, having heard all your instructions, we are sure that very soon we'll come back to Godhead. That they are telling now. Adyanastamasaparas.
Adyanastamasaparas.
Vayopasadita Prabho.
Vayopasadita Prabho.
Ramyatam nashta drustinam.
Ramyatam nashta drishtinam.
Karma birdaiva samnitai.
Karma birdaiva samnitai. The citizens continued, today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By our past deeds and by arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of fruitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus we have been wandering within the universe.
O Lord, forced to wander around blindly throughout the karmas, we have been delivered from ignorance by you today. Till now we have been wandering up and down by our Parada karmas, but today, by accepting you as our master, by following your instructions, we can go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Namo Vivrutta Sattvaya.
Namo Vivrutta Sattvaya.
Purushaya Mahiyase.
Purushaya Mahiyase.
Yo Brahma Kshetram Avishya.
Yo Brahma Kshetram Avisya.
Vibhartidam Swatejasa.
Vibhartidam Swatejasa. Dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining the entire world by introducing Brahminical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as a Kshatriya.
So here, finally they say, we offer respect to the great Supreme Lord, Position Shuddha who, by entering the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, maintains this world with his powers. Swatejasa. It is Supreme Lord enters into Brahmanas and teaches good conduct to the Kshatriyas. It is the Supreme Lord who enters into the Kshatriyas by giving them the power to protect the Brahmanas and the teachings of the Brahmanas so that people in general can follow them. So in this way. Seeing King Prthu as the Lord, the Brahmanas offer him respects. Entering into the Brahmana, the Lord supports the Kshatriyas. Entering into the Kshatriya, the Lord supports the Brahmanas. Entering into the both, the Lord supports the entire universe. So in this way, the Lord, who is the maintainer, maintains the entire universe with the mutual cooperation, the mutual support, with the mutual protection of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. That's why Brahmanas are called as Bhudeva, Kshatriyas are called as Naradeva. Because Brahmanas teach Vedas, Kshatriyas implement the Vedic culture. So both in cooperation, protects the entire world. So like this. So this is the chapter in which Prthu was instructing his citizens. Having heard all the instructions, the citizens are expressing their gratitude to Prthu. Any questions? Hare Krishna. Devotees have any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So Prthu Maharaj, as we discussed in the previous chapter also, when he became the king, the whole country was poverty stricken, downtrodden, and without food, without employment. People were starving like anything. So at that time, Prthu understood the reason was Mother Earth. She was the cause that she is not giving food. She chased after Mother Earth. Why are you not giving food? You have taken yajna, share and all these things. Mother Earth said, "ये क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? यज्ञ परफॉर्म करके बहुत जन साल हो गया। कभी पुराने जमाने में जब यज्ञ किया था उसका फ्रूट्स के बारे में अभी बात कर रहे हैं, क्या बोल रहे हैं आप इतना डांट रहे हैं, आपका पिता क्या किया आपको पता नहीं क्या? It is your father staffed brahmanas performing yajnas, and your father insisted that if anybody want to perform yajna, perform yajna on my name and chant mantras on my name. I am the Lord representing all the devatas including Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva reside within me. I should be worshipped by yajna." Like that he said, and did not allow anybody to perform proper yajna. And entire country is filled with robbers, and your father itself is a big robber. And you are speaking about yajna. There was no yajna performed, and I produce all the food crops for the purpose of performing yajna and worshipping Lord Vishnu, and no one is performing any yajna. So why should I produce? I stopped. Then Prthu said, "No problem. You produce. I'll perform 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3. I'll perform 100 yajnas for your pleasure." So then Prthu began to perform 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Then 100. When you are performing 100th one, Indra, who had another purpose to fulfill, that he has to sow seeds for the beginning of Dwapara Yuga. After Prthu's kingdom, Dwapara Yuga would begin. In order to sow seeds for that, in order to create confusion among the people, he stole the horse, and as a result of that, he created so many apasampradayas, etc., etc., etc. So finally, Prthu became angry. Why Indra is so intolerant or restless? Why is doing so much? You want to stop Indra with the intention to defeat and bind him or something like that. And the Brahmana said, "No, you don't worry anything. We will chant mantras and we'll call Indra also into the fire. He is not allowing the yajna to be completed. I will stop him by inviting him into fire." When they were about to chant the mantras, Brahma came and said, "My dear Prthu, in order to make earth prosperous, in order to please Mother Earth, that she accused that your father did not perform any yajna. Why should I give food grains? You are performing 200 yajnas, but it is not required. Too much prosperity is also not required. Enough. Already people have received so much prosperity. You can stop with 19 only. That is enough. By design perform 100th one, Indra is creating so many apasampradayas which are not required at this point of time. It is too advanced to start Dwapara Yuga. So you please stop." Then Prthu stopped. Then Lord Vishnu came along with Indra. Lord Vishnu said, "See, Indra has come. He cannot come on his own. He is feeling shy. Please forgive him." So Indra was about to touch the feet of Prthu. Prthu said, "No, you are elder to me. You cannot touch my feet." Instead, first he embraced him, and Prthu himself touched the feet of Indra, because Indra is age. The Lord was so much pleased by looking all these things. So before leaving, the Lord instructed Prthu, "You are the king. How should rule the kingdom nicely for the benefit of you and for the benefit of the entire world." Even Brahma indicated that, "See, for the material prosperity you already performed on 99 yajna, that is enough. Now onwards, do activities based prosperity." So how one can attain spiritual prosperity? That Lord instructed how to rule the country. As a result of that, both having heard from Lord Brahma, having heard from Lord Vishnu, now Prthu is instructing all the citizens how they should conduct themselves for their spiritual prosperity. There is no discussion about material prosperity in this chapter. All is about spiritual prosperity. The three means either perform Ananya Bhakti or perform Karma Mishra Bhakti or at least perform Bhakti Mishra Karma. That will assure one's spiritual prosperity once going back to word. Karma Mishra Bhakti will allow, Bhakti Mishra Karma enable them to attain Sahajya Mukti, and Karma Mishra Bhakti will enable them to attain Vaikuntha with Shantarasa, and Ananya Bhakti will enable them to attain Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya and Madhurya Rasas. In that way, everything has been clearly indicated. So that therefore request everyone to practice Bhakti so that all of us can go back to Godhead. But while doing Bhakti, we should take shelter of Guru. Who is Guru? Those who accept the teachings of the Supreme Lord as their life and soul, those who have realized the imports of the Vedas, they are Guru. They are the Brahmanas. They should be respected always. They should be worshipped. Their shelter should be taken always. That will enable us to go back to head. And all the people also said, yes, we should take shelter of such a pure Brahman and pure Vaishnava. You are such a pure Vaishnava. Today we have got our master. So our going back to God is taking at their Guru because they understood the greatness of Prthu. In spite of being a Kshatriya, is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. The Brahmanas all accepted Prthu as their Guru, as their master, and they assured that, my dear Lord, you by becoming our Guru, our going back to God is assured. They said. While they are all speaking like this, the universal Gurus arrived there. Because Prthu as well as the Brahmanas are telling that yes, we need to take shelter of Guru. Then the universal Gurus arrived at the same place where they are discussing. Now, Prthu as well as the entire citizens will listen from the universal Gurus, which will offer them either Sahajya or Vaikuntha. That is the connection to the next chapter. So we'll just see a couple of verses and then stop for today. It's already time. Just set the background so that next week we will discuss the conversation that took place between the Prthu and 4Kumaras. In the 22nd chapter, Sanat Kumara, after explaining Jnana, teaches Bhakti to King Prthu. So since the 4Kumaras are the teachers of Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, he will speak lot of verses on Jnana Yoga, the process of attaining Sahajya Mukti. Then since Prthu Maharaj is a pure devotee, he also speaks about Bhakti at the end. So like that. That will be the teachings. We'll just see the first 6 verses where Prthu received the 4Kumaras. How 4Kumaras arrived there, how Prthu received. Then we'll stop for today. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Janeshu Pragrunastau Evam.
Janeshu Prakritanas Evam.
Prutum Prutula Vikramam.
Prutum Prutula Vikramam.
Tatropa Jagmor Munayas.
Tatropa Jagmor Munayas.
Chatvara Surya Varchasa.
Chatvara Surya Varchasa.
Mataji, I will read the translation. You don't read.
Okay.
Maitreya is saying that while the people were praising Prthu, whose fame was widespread, the 4 sages, Chatvara Munaya, the 4 Kumaras, shining like the sun, arrived there. From the top of the sky, from Satyaloka, they are coming down. As they are coming down, they happen to see a second sun. The 4 Kumaras put together appear to be like a second sun coming down. Tamsu Siddheshwaran Raja.
Tamstu Siddheshwaran Raja.
Vyomno Vataro Archicha.
Vyomno Vratarato Chisha.
Lokana Papan Kurvanan.
Lokan Apapan Kurvanan.
Tanugo Chasta Lakshitan.
Anugo Chashtalakshitan.
Prthu and his followers saw the lords of mystic powers, Siddheshwara, descending from the sky, Vyomno Avatarato, purifying all the people, Lokan Apapan Kurvan. So they are making everyone Apapa and recognizing them as Kumaras by their effulgence. So looking at these four people who are looking like the sun, initially because they are looking like sun, they could not realize who are they. When they come close by, since four effulgent personalities are there, they understood that these are 4 Kumaras. They were known as the Kumaras by their effulgence. Then what did they do? Taddarshanodgatan pranan.
Taddarshanodgatan pranan.
Pratyadisturivotitaha.
Pratyadisturivotitaha.
Sa sadasyanugo vainya.
Sa sadasyanugo vainya.
Indriyesho gunaniva.
Indriyesho gunaniva.
King Prthu, along with the assembly and his followers, everyone rose to their feet as if eager to regain their life airs, which had exited his body on seeing the Kumaras, as eager as the Jiva follows the sense objects. An analogy is given to illustrate King Prthu standing up. King Prthu rose up as if to regain his life airs, which had left his body on seeing the effulgence of the Kumaras. So basically it is said that there is one explanation given here. When a great person comes to us, if we don't get up, it is as good as we are dead. When a great person is in front of us, if we don't respect them, it is as good as we are dead. But we get up to receive them, to respect them, that means we are receiving back our life. That's why while they were arriving, King Prthu and all the assembly got up immediately. Just by looking at them and receiving them, they felt that their life has come back. That means it is like when we receive a great soul, we understand that we are getting our real life back. Our current life is as good as dead only. But when we surrender to great souls, when we receive great souls, when we respect great souls, by their mercy, we receive our new life, our actual life. That is understanding. When elders approach, the life affairs of the young move upwards out of the body. But by standing up in respect and greeting the elders, the life phase return to the body. This is from Mahabharata. Thus, if one does not rise up when elders approach, one's lifespan decreases. King Prthu's eagerness is shown by an example. The jiva follows after sense objects like smell. Just like when we come across sense objects, our senses go after them. Similarly, when pure devotees come in front of us, our life should go after them. That is the real purpose of the life. So in that way. That is how they very eagerly received the 4 Kumaras, as if their life is coming back, as if they are going to get a new life. That is understanding. Gaurvya sabhya.
Gauravat yantrita sabya.
Prashrayanata kandaraha.
Prashrayanata kandaraha.
Vidivat pujayam chakre.
Vidivat pujayam chakre.
Gruhitadyarhanashanam.
Gruhitadyarhanasanan.
Under the control of the 4 Kumaras' greatness, with shoulders lowered in humility, King Prthu immediately worshipped them according to the scriptures by offering them items and seeds. As soon as the 4 Kumaras came nearby, Prthu Maharaj immediately got up and arranged 4 seats, 4 wonderful seats for them to sit. Then what did he do? In the Mahabharata, we see when the sages come, we make them sit, then wash their feet and worship them by offering padya, argya, Deepa, Dupa, Shamara, Vejana, like just like we do deity worship in the temple, Arati in the temple, like that the sadhu should be worshipped. All these things he does. Tatpada Saucha Salilair.
Tatpada Saucha Salilair.
Marjitalaka Bandana.
Marjitalaka Bandana.
Tatra Shilavatam.
Tatra Shilavatam Vrittam.
Acharan Manayan Iva.
Acharan Manayan Iva.
Then how did he worship them? He sprinkled on his head the water that had washed their feet. He acted according to the conduct of the well-bred, as if teaching others. So Prthu arranged 4 seats, made them sit there, and brought water to wash their feet. That water is sprinkled on the head of himself and on the head of all the assembly, and then worship, offering them Yajana, Dhupa, Deepa, etc. All these things, just to teach everyone. So, but at a place, how should we receive guests? Krishna Mataji, kindly mute. Rajeshwari Mataji, kindly mute. Prthu acted like the well-bred people. Manayan means announcing to others. So, what all he did? First, he offered seeds, and then he washed their feet and sprinkled the water upon his head and everyone. Then what else he said? He did Hatakshana Asinan.
Hatakashana Asinan.
Hatakashana Asinan.
Hatakashana Asinan.
Swadishneshu Iva Pavakan.
Swadishneshu Iva Pavakan.
Shraddha Samyukta.
Shraddha Samyama Samyukta.
Prita Praha Bhavagrajan.
Prita Praha Bhavagrajan.
With great respect and great restraint and very pleased, King Prthu then addressed the Kumaras, the older brother of Lord Shiva, who sat on the seats made of gold. Hataka Asana Asinan. They were made to sit on the golden seats, and who resembled fire in sacrificial fire pits. They were elder brothers of Lord Shiva, and thus to be respected very highly. Because 4 Kumaras are the first children of Brahma, they should be very much respected. Accordingly, Prthu respected them very nicely, making them sit on the golden chairs, washing their feet, putting the water on their heads, and also performing Aragya, Padya, Aragya, Dhupa, Deepa, Pushpa, Vasra, Gandha, and Chamara, Vejana, and etc. Then he began to speak to them. He's going to offer them humble respects in words, as well as is going to make certain inquiries. So that will be the next section. That is from 7 to 16, and then 17 onwards till 40, I suppose. The 4 Kumaras instruct. So especially I'm Jnana, very technical session, and finally I'm Bhakti. We will see in the next. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
No
Hare
question,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. No.
प्रभु जी एग्जाम कभी होगा? हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Which exam?
मिनी ग्रांड टेस्ट अभी और ये आ गया ना 22nd chapter.
No, that is after 23rd. After Prthu
Okay.
section.
Okay, Prabhu ji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu ji, you got my
Okay.
submissions. Have you checked? Yes, Prabhu ji.
Yeah. I might have replied also. If not, I'll reply today. Yeah, I'll see.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Oh. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining today.